Okay, let's get moving. As you can see, I completely changed the template that we're going to be using. We're not going to be using the default Laravel template because I think we could do better. So what we're going to be doing is using a theme called the SAS, and you can find it on Theme Forest. I'm no affiliate or anything, but I've used the template. I bought it, used it, and I think it's really awesome. Very lightweight. So if you want to use it in any production applications, make sure you get a license. But if not, you could just use my copy for development purposes. What I did was just to create an app.blade.php and put in the theme, just install 3 simple CSS files. And sure enough, in the code for this lesson, you'd actually have this theme folder that contains all the files that you need for the theme. So I just stuck that in, have a div of ID of app for Vuejs, navigation, right here, home, login. Then I have a yield header and yield content. Then I have my welcome.blade.php that simply extends that layout, yields a header, and then yields the content. Very simple stuff. I don't want to bore you with all of this because that has little or no learning in it. Okay, so what do we want? We want to click on this login button and actually see a login form, right? And then if we successfully log in, the page simply refreshes, just like Jeffrey does it. So let's go ahead and dive straight into it. Now, in the doc component.html, you can actually see this component, which is a modal, and I'm just going to go ahead and use it. So I'll head over to my doc component, and we have this modal. I'm going to copy it and then head over to my example.view, which is the default one that comes with Laravel, paste in that template. And sure enough, I need to rename that. I'm going to rename that to login.view. Head over to my app.js so I can change how that is registered. So I need to change this to login.view. And I'm going to change this to view login. This is the component we're going to use in our views. You can also see I have Laravel Mix already running as a watcher. Okay, so now that I have that, the first thing was to put in the template. I've done that, but this template is going to be a modal and it has to be triggered. So I'm just going to change this to login modal, which is going to be the ID. I'm going to head over to my app.blade, and one of the navigation components or navigation links there was the login. So I'm going to make sure this is data toggle equals modal. This is simply bootstrap, and data target is equal to the element with ID login modal. So when we click on this, it's going to trigger the modal with this ID. So now we need to actually mount this component in our view. Therefore, in my app.blade.php, just write down somewhere after the footer or before the footer, I'm just going to mount view login, and that will make this template available in our view. Okay, so nothing complicated. We've registered a new view component, and it's a modal, and it contains the template for that modal. We have a link in our layout file, which is the login, and this simply triggers that modal, and we have registered that component as view login. Therefore, in our template, we've mounted it as view login right here. Okay, so let's go ahead and see how this works. A quick refresh, and when I click on that, sure enough, I see my modal pop up. So let's go ahead and do a little edits to that modal. And what I'm going to do is actually simply paste in a login register template right here, just so I don't waste your time trying to design stuff that will not even help us in this lesson. All right, done. So let's check out what we have now. We simply have this login form, and this is exactly the login form from the template. I just copied it and stuck it straight into the modal dialog div. So what do we want to happen? We want the user to fill in his details into this form, either select remember me or not, and then click on the login button. Let's take care of that in the next video.